friends, Jen here with a book review for you today. This is a part of the All Souls Trilogy, but it's kind of like a spin-off book. So this is by Deborah Harkness, and it's called Times Convert. So if you are interested in the All Souls Trilogy, which A Discovery of Witches and the subsequent books were made, I think it's the Book of Life is the third one, and the second one I always get wrong. I think it's A Shadow of Darkness. They've been made into a TV series, and I have reviews for each of those on this channel. So be sure to check those books out, or book reviews out, and check those books out. This is like a fourth book, so it's not really part of the trilogy. So this follows Phoebe and Marcus is Matthew de Clermont's son, and when we say that in this world, that typically means like a sire. Like Matthew is the one who made Marcus a vampire. So Phoebe is his love interest, and they're both Marcus is in all of the other books for the most part, and Phoebe comes in maybe in book 2, maybe book 3. I actually can't really remember. I think in book 2 she comes in. So her and Marcus, so this is where spoilers will start. So if you haven't read the series and you don't want to be spoiled, I suggest you just stop here. So Marcus and Phoebe decide to be together, and Phoebe decides she wants to be a vampire, and that is near the end of, I think, book 3. So this kind of follows their story as to like her choosing her maker, which is not Marcus, to her transition. Is kind of broken down into like you know, when you're turned, you're kind of considered like a baby and then a fledgling, and so it kind of like follows that. And then it also follows Marcus's story a lot around like the French Revolution and the American Revolution, before he was a vampire and then after he became one. And it's like about his journey and how he was brought up and why he is the way he is. And then Phoebe's is more about her changing more than anything. It's not really too much. I mean, there's a little bit about her past. And then there's also another storyline, which is, I was very happy to see Matthew and Diana, because I really enjoy them and I like them more than Marcus and Phoebe. So there was some of them sprinkled throughout, and it was more about, so at the end of the third book, they have children, they have twins, and it's about like the twins developing and about some of their characteristics. And you know, Matthew is trying to make his own scion separate from the actual like de Clermont family and have his own family, family hierarchy and rules and things like that, or lack thereof, because there was too many rules. So it kind of follows them too, and all the stories are kind of intertwined because Diana's a historian and she's trying to like she could see like these threads of time because Marcus and Phoebe are separated as Phoebe goes through her change. And so Marcus is like, she could see these threads around him that he's like grappling with something, and so she's like trying to pull his story out, and that's kind of where the Marcus going into the past comes from. I gave this one 4 stars. It was a good read. I don't really like Marcus and Phoebe that much. I mean, it did actually make me like Marcus a little bit more and understand where he was coming from. Did not make me like Phoebe more. I didn't really care for her either way. Like, I didn't really have, I guess, an opinion on her. She just kind of seems like whiny, and I don't want to say she's not good enough for Marcus, but she just seems like so superficial compared to Marcus. Anyway, so I mean, it was good. It was kind of gory, or more gory than I expected, between you know, the American Revolution and the vampire changing and all that kind of stuff with Phoebe. And also there was some interesting coincidences in terms of what's currently going on into society with these revolutions. And then there's mention of like smallpox and inoculation and things like that. So it was kind of funny that I was reading this book at that time when it's like, wait, we already went through all of that stuff in the 1700s. Like, why are we going through it again? Do we learn nothing? So that was kind of ironic, I guess. Overall, I really like Deborah Harkness's writing. I like The Discovery of Witches and the All Souls Trilogy. I could have taken or left this book. It didn't really give me anything extra. It was just interesting to delve into other characters a little bit deeper. So if you like paranormal, like urban fantasy or magical realism, then you would probably like the All Souls Trilogy. In some of the like praised areas of the book, it talks about like if you like Twilight and you like Harry Potter, that chances are you're gonna like this series, or if you like Outlander, you'll like this series. I'm actually looking forward to reading Outlander. I have the first book, and I think it's finally time that I read it and see if I want to read that series or not, especially because those books are so huge. It'll probably take me like 2 years to read them because I don't read. I used to be able to read like 8 books in a month, and that is just not my life anymore. I try to read 1 book a month, and sometimes that includes an audiobook, but you know, it's just the way things are right now for me. So overall, I really like this trilogy. So I don't think any book I gave below a 4-star. Book 2 was really good. That one I gave 5 stars, and that was probably my favorite of all of them. But this is pretty good. It's just I like following Matthew and Diana's story much more than I care about Marcus and Phoebe. But it was worth a read. Just why not, I guess. But it's not like a necessary book. However, if you read it first, you'll be super confused. So I do recommend reading the actual trilogy first. So that's all I have for you right now. I'm currently reading a nonfiction book. I'm not sure if I'll do a review for it. I don't tend to do nonfiction reviews on this channel. So the next book I plan on reading after that that's fiction is called Half-Life, and it's about if Marie Curie had followed a different path than the one that she did follow. So it's like historical fiction, and I got that for free from the publisher, so I do plan on reading that and doing a review. And then I might read The Other Einstein, which is about Einstein's wife. That's also historical fiction, before I dive into Outlander. I don't know if I'll read any other standalone books, or I haven't quite decided yet because I'm a bit of a mood reader, so we'll see. But Times Convert by Deborah Harkness, I gave it 4 stars. Overall, this series is excellent. And like I said, if you're into paranormal or urban fantasy or magical realism, I suggest you check out the All Souls Trilogy. That's all I have for you. So in the meanwhile, stay introverted. Bye.